waited underneath the filling, patient in a way that made no sense. Not haunted, nothing cruel about it, staying more like evidence of something genuinely real. A temperature that earned its right to linger by being the most honest thing I'll ever feel. Crash the night, feel the sounds. Every wall we built goes crashing to the ground. The warmth inside refuses to be off vengeance were the most real. I trade a fraction of this hardened function for 1 hour back inside that open cell. I got strong, I lost something, and I can't get it back. The elevator version, fine. No issues delivered with a steadiness inside. Not perform for anyone specific, just a habit formed from years of closing doors. The pain had its own room inside the structure, a room I never showed that had no floors. I sat across from people who were asking with genuine intent behind their eyes, and answer from the surface clean and measured. A careful and convincing compromise, men lying trapped withholding the interior. The blood that had no language fit for it. The pain was too specific, too unglamorous, too private for the space between two chairs. Nobody watched it happen, nobody knew the specific weight of what I carried through. Nobody asked, no witness, no record kept of every night I held it while I slept. The hurt was mine in the most total sense. No shared vocabulary, no defense. I built a life around the hidden room, and nobody suspected what was in the gloom. Beyond this blows accumulates of interest. The hidden grows more intricate when sight. What started as a room became a structure, and the structure gradually became the spine. I don't assign the blame to those around me. They worked with what I gave, which wasn't much. Still shaped the everything. The undisclosed still drove the hands in hours. What no one witnessed didn't make it smaller. The hidden doesn't forfeit any of its power. I carried it so wrong, it lost its edges, became less like a wound and more like crap. The pain no one saw was still the realest thing, the most defining thing that never made a sound. There was no other road available that night. No junction, no alternative, no choice. Just the next step and the one that followed after. And a silence where there used to be a voice. I didn't beg the forward out of courage. Didn't find a sign that said this way is right. The other directions had already closed, so I moved into the only open light. Not optimism, not a plan, not faith in outcome. Just the body doing what the body does. When standing still becomes more costly than the motion, forward was the only thing because no regrets, no turning back. Every scar we carry fills the crack. The road behind is sealed, we knew it would be, so we move with everything we have left. Honestly, no regrets, we stay on track. Not because the track is kinda never has, but retreating costs a price we cannot cover, so we face the next mile and the next, and go further. I know I've learned. I've watched the people pause at where I kept on moving, seen them find the exits I walked past. I don't judge when who took the turning. Some of us just aren't built to last. That standing still, the forward pulls too hard. The only rest I've ever known is the next yard. There are days it doesn't feel like progress days. The track looks identical to yesterday, but the coordinates have shifted barely actually enough to prove the motion isn't just display. I've made my peace with incremental, with the forward that doesn't announce itself with light, just a quiet accumulation of the kept on going, stacked up night by night by night. No choice, no exit, just for right now. No regrets, no turning back. We built our ground on every fractured track. The road demanded everything. We gave it every doubt we swallowed. We survived it. No regrets, we stay on track. Not because we chose this, we were chosen back by the forward motion of a life that kept on asking, and we answered step by step. We kept on passing through the dark, through the doubt, through the cost. Still on track, still moving, nothing lost. I had the words arranged and ready, the sentence that would close the chapter clean. I rehearsed the conversation, knew the time and knew exactly what the ending would have meant. But the hour came and something in me stalled. The courage I had picked was running short. I stood at the conclusion, fully able, and walked back from the edge without the kite. I told myself tomorrow, then the next day, constructed reasons why the timing wasn't right. The truth was simpler, harder to articulate. I wasn't brave enough to end it that night. Not for lack of knowing what was needed, not because I thought that things would turn. Just a gutless kind of staying habitual, too afraid of what the ending meant to learn. I circled it for months without arriving, kept the unfinished open like a wound. The kindest thing I could have done, I didn't, and both of us paid interest on the postpone. No more fear, no more lies. I should have said the words instead of said goodbye. No more fear, we rise from every night we lack the nerve to recognize the cost of with the unfinished. Not acceptance, more like learned coexistence. Twice. Still here. Still cry. Still moving forward. We won't back down, we won't break down. Through the ordinary fracture grinding somehow. The routine holds the broken parts in place. The daily motion keeping up the pace. We won't back down, we won't break now. Not heroic, just the only thing we know how to keep the cracked machinery in motion. Broken and continuing. That's the whole devotion. The exit was available, I saw it clearly. A clean and workable, forgetting right there. The kind that takes the edges off the sharpest parts and leaves a manageable kind of care. I stood in front of it, I understood the offer. I knew exactly what the letting go would cost. But something in me reached back for the undiminished and chose the full weight over what I'd lose if lost. Because the blooded version wasn't real enough. The softened copy didn't carry what it was. I needed the original, however brutal. The unedited, the unredacted. Because all or nothing, here we go. I took the everything, I wouldn't take it low. All or nothing, lose control. I kept the burning, kept it buried in my soul. The forgetting was a door I walked away from. The remembering the only thing I claimed. I chose to carry every undiminished detail, because the weight of it confirmed that it was real, and it was mine and it remained. People told me it would get easier with distance. The time would do the softening on its own. But I kept pulling back against the current. Kept the definition, kept the tone. Not masochism, something closer to fidelity, to the truth of what it was before it cools. There is a version of the past that lives in amber, preserved at full intensity intact. I chose to keep my hand inside that amber, rather than retrieve a sanitized extract. The joy that came with it was just as vivid, the devastation equally precise. I wanted the complete and uncompromised accounting, and I paid the uncompromised accounting's price. Some things deserve to be remembered fully. Some moments earn the right to stay alive. And what I chose to keep, I chose with open eyes. Because forgetting felt like letting